to talk to him about a gutter, go start cleaning the gutter, or get your friends so that when you get the opportunity to meet him, you have something to show for it. When I started this, nobody wanted to come on board. But now I sit here, ministers of state will call me and say, I want to come and speak at your event. So the first thing that you got to do is just that before you can approach whoever that you got to. Let's clap our hands and give it up for. All right, I think over to you, MC. Let's clap our hands for.
Put your hands together for them. We are definitely shifting our minds, and I'm hoping that one day one of you will mount the platform and say, if not for iYES, I won't be where I am today. Right? Let's show them some love. Let's show love to Madam Dental and also to Akosi Amenu.
All right, so we've got some school representing here. Before we even do that, we'd like to acknowledge the schools who are representing this year. Before we do that, please, let's all pick our phones, yeah? Kindly put the iYES social media pages on the screens for us right now. Can we all pick our phones right now? Let's pick our phones and go on social media, on Instagram, Twitter. Let's follow the iYES pages. Please, let's do it. Can we have them over there, please? Let's all go on our phones right now. If you have a YAM, please go on the YAM and type iYES on the YAM phone.
So for Facebook is iYES. For Twitter is iYES.gh. For Instagram, iYES Ghana. For the other one is also iYES. If you go to TikTok, it's iYES.gh. The other is iYES_GH. Okay, so try as much as possible to follow all the socials. Everything is on the screen. If you type it in there, it's right there. Yeah.
If you don't do it, when we close, we'll stand at the gates. The security will be there. We'll check before you go out. Don't forget that at 5 p.m. we're coming back for the second session. Are you ready for that as well? Are you ready for the second session at 5 p.m. as well? So call your family members and tell them we're coming back later in the evening. But let's say a big thank you to the schools representing, so we take it one after the other.
So we have 5 schools representing. We have Presbyterian Boys Senior High School.
Are you here? Make some noise! Presec is in the building. We have seen you.
Okay.
We also have Frafraha Community Day School. Oh, please put your hands together for Frafraha Community.
We have a National Community Development Vocational and Technical Institute.
Put your hands together, another community in the house. And we have the Accra Technical Training Center, ATTC. Please put your hands together for them.
And also we have South Laboni Vocational Girls.
The ladies are in the building. Put your hands together for them.
We are definitely changing the bias. All right. Thank you all for being here. What's next?
At this moment, we'd like to say a big thank you to Ecobank. Please put your hands together for Ecobank. It's not easy to put something like this together and have the backing of corporate world. Sometimes you want to give that. But Ecobank has always ensured that they're here for us, and this year they are with us. Please, we'll take a message from the rep from Ecobank. So let's put our hands together as we welcome a rep from the Ecobank to speak to us. Please put your hands together for him, the Pan-African Bank.
Please show him some love as he walks upstage.
Thank you so much, sir.
iYES. Oh, you've forgotten. iYES.
I will, I can, I must.
Oh, for the last time. iYES.
I will, I can, I must.
Good afternoon. My name is Henry Boy, and I'm the head of youth banking at Ecobank Ghana Limited. I bring you greetings from the management and staff of Ecobank Ghana Limited, led by Mr. Daniel Saki. I mentioned earlier I'm the head of youth banking, and I must say we are the first bank to have a youth banking unit. I thought you were going to put your hands together for that. 2 years ago, my very good friend, we've been friends for about 17 years now from University of Ghana campus, Pastor Brian, and he said a lot. I saw the ministry way back in Pent. Those who were in Pent, I saw the ministry way back in Pent, and we thank the Lord for how far He's brought him. We are very excited to partner with you, especially because we believe that we need to bank tomorrow's customers today, which are the young people. And for us at Ecobank, we always and continuously ensure that we provide innovative products and services to meet your financial needs. Key of it is our Ecobank mobile. How many of you have downloaded the Ecobank mobile here? How many of you? Pastor Brian has given me some pounds to share. So how many of you, can I see by hand? Oh, you're shy. Okay. If you have not, just take your phone, go to the Play Store or App Store, look for Ecobank Mobile. I'll repeat that. Play Store or App Store. Look for Ecobank Mobile. Once you find that, just select I'm new to Ecobank. Move on to select Express account, and then follow the prompt. For those of you who have the feature phone, what we popularly call the YAM, I believe it's just a few. Just dial *770#. I'll repeat that. *770#. I think the video is showing, so you can also follow that. *770#. And then you follow the prompt. Now, I'll tell you a few things about the Ecobank mobile app and what it can do. Sometimes, in the middle of the night, as a student, you might want data to maybe go and research on a topic, and all the shops have closed. Or you try with another app, it's not working. Ecobank will not fail you. You'll be able to get data with that. You'll be able to purchase airtime too as well. You'll be able to move money from Momo wallet into your account and vice versa, I beg your pardon. And you'll be able to also transfer among banks in Ghana. And all these things I'm saying, all these services we are providing on the mobile app, we do not charge anything for it. All you pay is that 1% you pay if you have to do the Momo transaction. We do not charge any monthly fee for it. As I bring my message to I would also say that with the assistance from the iYES team, we also have prepaid cards available. Prepaid cards. Cards you can use for your online transactions. Some of you have shops you are paying for advertisements. We've been admonished and encouraged to go global. We are local, we should go global. You'll be able to use this card to make certain payments online. And these cards, for the purpose of this program, we reduced from 25 Ghana cedis. So please, I thought you'd do it better for the iYES team. From 25 Ghana cedis to 15 Ghana cedis. So, please, we are at the back. Come there, and then we'll give you the card. How many of you have completed the download? I told you I have some money, some pounds from you. And the Ecobank team, you have downloaded the Ecobank mobile app now. Finished? You did it now. Pardon? Outside. Okay. Okay, just for owning up, I'll give you 50 cedis for lunch. Okay? Anybody else? Now I can see, when I said the 50 cedis, I can see your hands up. I want someone who did it now. Just in 2 minutes. Someone who did it now. Please see Amanda. Please raise your hand. Amanda is here for your 50 cedis. Someone who did it now. Like now. Oh, those upstairs. It's loading. Just 2 minutes. But I have 2 minutes, right? 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay. As you download, you realize that we've really simplified the process. You don't need to bring forms. You don't need to go and bring your utility bill. You don't need to bring a whole lot to open an account, right? You've realized that. Those of you who are doing it or those who have done it. It's very simple. I don't see why you do not want to do it. I asked to, and I'll give out lunch, and then I go. So as I was I mentioned a particular account, an account name that you can get from the Ecobank mobile. Who remembers it? If you remember, please just come here. The first two to come. If you remember, please, so that you just tell me. Oh, please come. If you remember. Oh, where are the lady? Okay, the lady, please come. Okay, please. Do you remember the account? Pardon?
Express account.
Okay, so you have 50 cedis for me, Amanda. Okay, the lady.
Express account.
Oh, let's. You see, we've already given out 2 guys, so let's pick one lady.
Express account.
Pardon?
Express account.
Gender bias.
So for the lady, I'll give you 100 Ghana cedis. Last person. The last question. I talked about a particular card that has been reduced from 25 Ghana cedis to 15 cedis. What is the name of the card? And can you use it online? Okay, so what's the name of the card? Oh. I only come and answer.
Prepaid card.
Yes, prepaid card. You get free prepaid card. You get a free prepaid card from Ecobank. Amanda, please take note. Thank you very much, and please we'll be at the back to engage you more. God bless you all.
Let's clap our hands. Let's appreciate Ecobank. Thank you. All right. I want you to listen to this carefully. One of the platforms that we've created for iYES is the people that you cannot meet. We created a favorable platform so that you can meet them. Our wonderful CEO had to go for a meeting, but I told her that please, you got to wait so that after the session, at least you can have a one-on-one interaction, because Denta said something that she had to write a letter to Tony Blair, and he replied. But trust me, there are some African countries, when you write a letter even to the PA, they will not. Okay, so Honorable CEO is going to be here, Denta is still here, so that after the service, after this session, you can walk to them and just ask any question. Because trust me, if you say you're going to see the Deputy CEO of NYA, okay, but this is what iYES has created. But listen, tonight is going to be fireworks. We have Joe Metal coming in. Prophet Kofidro is going to speak tonight. It's going to be wonderful. So please, I don't want you to miss it. And we have the Minister for Communication, Honorable Esla Owusu. But before I bring in my spiritual father who is going to speak, and for this session, he's the last speaker. And of course, tonight also, he is going to speak. We have a wonderful worshiper who is based in Atlanta, one of Ghana's finest, and she's going to minister in a song before Dr. Franco Fosuapia comes. Please help me welcome Nana Achua all the way from Atlanta. Please clap your hands. Clap your hands.
Hallelujah. On bon sunya kupowa wo bon soro ni asase wo ding the alpha and the omega efitiasia and the area nyameneo Isaac nyame Abraham nyameneo Jacob nyame Israel nyameneo and you wanna we Israel for every kwasumu nana and you wanna we When you talk trouble, so you go power. What about Surani Assassin? Who think they out? And the Omega. Every Tia, and the area Yamina. Isaac Yamia. Abraham Yamina. Jacob Yamina. When it's right for a very quasum, Nana, and you want now we don't know free Johnson. Me some up here, yes, some up here, oh, yes, some up here, Jesus, Messi no yeah, Namine, Jesus better. Messi me die, Wapo Tansu, and I pay Messi me die, Wapo Tansu, Messi me bo, now Messi no yeah. Jesus better, mercy me die, Wapo Tansu, every sad and surrender, me and Suro, area report, Mako Mansu, Nana, me de mercy me die.
Let's clap our hands. Come on. next 1 minute, can I see Pastor Isaac, please? I want everybody to come inside. All those outside. I want the cadet to get everybody inside. Everybody. The hundreds that are outside, please, I want you to come inside. Thank you so much, Evangelist Chidi, come in all the way from Nigeria. Please appreciate my good friend coming all the way from Nigeria. I do appreciate you. I'm waiting in the next 1 minute, Pastor David. I want everybody inside. Pastor Isaac, I want everybody inside. Everybody. Thank you. Prophet Gideon Baffo from Maryland, thank you so much for coming. I'm waiting. I need an alert. All right. Thank you for coming. Lift your hands, declare, I will, I can, and I must. All right, I think I have to say this, that on Friday, for the first time in the history of Ghana, we are going to have the National Youth All Night. And it starts at 8 p.m. We have a lot of people coming all the way from the north, from Sunyane, from Kumasi, from Koforidia, from Takrade. It's the National Youth All Night with myself, my spiritual father, Dr. Franco Fusuapia, and Reverend Eastwood Anaba. You can't miss it. I'm still waiting, please. I'm still waiting. I want everybody to get inside. I can see people outside. All right. Dr. Franco Fusuapia has been a speaker since 2017. And I want to say this, that he makes a lot of sacrifice. He was in Ghana recently, had to jump on the flight back to Atlanta, and just came to Ghana for this event. He arrived last night. And since 2017, a lot of young people, not just in Ghana, but in Africa, has been so inspired and imparted by his wisdom. He is affectionately called the ambassador of him. He is my spiritual father. He has, listen to me, I live in London. I've lived in London for years. But not in America. It's because of him I was able to travel to America and in Canada. He has been a tremendous blessing to me. And he is the founder of the All Nations Church, one of the largest churches in Atlanta, Georgia. And trust me, your life will never be the same. Please, with a shout, help me welcome Dr. Frank Ofosu Appiah.
Thank you. You may be seated. Good afternoon, Ghana. Oh, Pastor Brian, do people respond when you greet them on Wednesday afternoons? Good afternoon, Ghana. I don't feel love at all. Let me try it over here. Good afternoon, Ghana. Good. If you don't respond, I'm going to keep you here till hunger kills you. But it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me, Pastor Brian. You know, I wouldn't miss this for anything. Like he said, I came in last night. So if somewhere during my presentation I start talking nonsense, it's because I'm jet lagged. Better people will come and correct all my mistakes for me. But it's a pleasure. And thank you all, the entire Cozy, for wonderful. I was telling her I was listening in the car. It's tremendous. We must learn to really celebrate our own. My God, you are such an amazing. But then the next, the Guba in America, you know, I'll write you a letter. Okay, nice letter. But thank you all, great people. I'm going to take the next 20, 25 minutes just to add a little building block to whatever is going on here. You've heard tremendous presenters. Listen, one of the things that you've got to understand in this life is that the best education you ever have may not be in a classroom setting. The best education you are going to have may not be in a classroom setting. The classroom setting has this formality, bricks and mortar, chalkboards or whatever we use, but many times you are educated by people's stories. People who are willing to tell you about their fears, their failures, their triumphs, their successes, their pain. These are things that you cannot get from any store. You can't walk into Malcolm and buy 7 years of experience. Many times, other people's experiences. Somebody told me the other day, I want to learn from experience. I said, it's fine, but what if you don't survive your experience? I like to learn from other people's experience. It's very important that you get that. So the stories that we tell, the examples that we give, we want to expose you to the possibility that you can do the same thing. Because sometimes the biggest favor that you can ever have in life is to have the favor of exposure. Because once you get exposed, nobody can unexpose you. Once you get exposed, it expands your expectations. It tells you that you can do the same thing. So again, Pastor Brian and your team, I thank you very much. Ecobank and all the sponsors, God richly bless you. The volunteers, media, everybody, you are doing tremendous. And we thank God for your lives. Now, please listen to me, iYES Ghana. We are all in the same space. Right now, we are all in the same space, but we are not all in the same place. I'm going to repeat it. We are all in the same space in this auditorium, but we are not all in the same place. I want you to be in a place where nobody else is, where you are by yourself, connecting to the information, the wisdom, the mentoring, the coaching that is coming to you. Because somebody is going to leave here after 3 days. There is not a prophecy. I'm just anointed common sense. Somebody is going to leave here on Friday, and you ask them, what did you get? They got nothing. All they remembered was somebody's hair, somebody's lipstick, somebody's eyelashes, and somebody too would get a deposit that will set them up for life. One time I was flying in an aircraft, and I was sitting in a particular space. And beside me was a man who kept asking the flight attendant, can I have one more? Can I have one more? Can I have one more? So he kept having his one more. You know what I'm talking about? The Spirit without the Holy. You know, he just kept having one more glass, one more bottle, one more glass. We were all in the same space. I was busy reading. Then there was another woman beside me. I think she was watching a movie, and she was so excited, she was laughing. Then I said to myself, we're all sitting in the same space, but we're all in different places. Somebody's really boozing, another is reading, another is laughing. So right now, make sure that the space that you are in is for you alone. Don't let anybody violate your space. I see some leaders coming in, so I'm going to let them sit. Then anyway, let's go ahead so I don't waste your time. But listen, make a determination that iYES 2022 is going to be life transforming for you. Every year, I've admonished you, I have encouraged you. Get something, get something. Sometimes it's somebody's one statement that will ignite something on the inside of you. You may not remember everything that is said here, but maybe something you observed, something somebody said, the way somebody carried themselves, somebody's story. Let something happen on the inside of you. Determine that these 3 days is not just for you to be entertained, but for you to be empowered. Because sometimes we are a generation that have been over-entertained. You need empowerment. You're not just here for information, but you are here for transformation. You want to be transformed. So all the speakers, all the preachers, all the presenters, they are coming with something for you. So determine that one day, when you write your own story or somebody else writes your story, there will be a place where iYES 2022 is mentioned. The theme for this year is mind shift. It's powerful. And thank you, CEO, thank you, Dent. It's powerful, mind shift. Let me tell you a story. A man walked into a tattoo parlor to have a tattoo made. When he got to his turn, the man asked him, "What do you want us to write on your arm?" And he said, "Tattoo, born to lose." They just tattoo, born to lose. Well, the guy wanted his money, so he designed a very nice born to lose. And after he had finished, he paid and he left. And people were like, how on earth would a person pay for them to tattoo born to lose on his arm? And a wise person amongst the people said, before he had born to lose on his arm, he had born to lose on his mind. Failure and success starts from your mind. That is why your mind is such a terrible thing to waste. And so this week, make sure that you are going to have a mind shift, because the mind is one of the greatest mysteries of life. The mind is powerful. The mind will take you places that aircrafts will not be able to take you. The mind is your gold mine for your tomorrow and your today. Your mind, ladies and gentlemen, is what is going to put you over in life. Yes, sadly, the mind is possibly the most misunderstood, misused, and underused gift that God ever gave to you. Your mind empowers you to think, to speak, and to act in certain ways. Which means your mouth will never say anything without your mind giving its permission. Your mind is very important. It empowers you to reason, to understand, to make judgments. So please, don't let anybody control your mind. Don't let anybody set the temperature for your mind. Because your mind is your factory for ideas. You are the sum total of your dominant thoughts. That is why you must never allow your mind, your brain, your thoughts to become somebody's football field. Guard your mind, protect your mind. Be very careful what you put into your mind. In fact, it may surprise you to understand that your body is a servant of your mind. Your body will never go where your mind has not first been. Never forget that. It's very important. So determine that some things are going to shift in your mind. You know, for some of you, we are going to take your brains out. We are going to wash it. Then we're going to put it back. Others, we are going to bring some antivirus material to devirus you, because you have been having stinking. That is what is giving you stinking living. So we are going to devirus you. And for some of you, maybe deworm you. Whatever we have to do, we are going to help you, because too many of you have your hard disk, your mind. It has been corrupted by too many things. So we are going to really help you. Now let me tell you another story. Maybe I'll tell you just 3 stories, then I'll sit down. Around 300 BC, I wasn't born then. Just before I was born. Around 300 BC, the great leader, General Alexander the Great, I'm sure if you went to any good schools, they might have talked to you about that. And I like how Dentar said it, that we must learn to tell our own stories. Africa must learn to tell their own stories. The South African says that until lions have their own historians, the story about the hunt will always be told to glorify the hunter. We must be proud of our stories. We must tell our stories. I hope you don't mind me. Sometimes I use my life story. Because, I've lived in America for a little while, and sometimes you go to places and you talk. Occasionally, the first thing people ask you, where do you come from? And normally when people ask me where I come from, I tell them I come from Atlanta. In fact, I try to say it like people from Atlanta. I come from Atlanta. Where do you come from? Atlanta. So we went to a send-off party for Dr. H.B. Langdon, focused on the family at Colorado. And that evening there was a banquet. And I think my wife and I were the only black people there. So I knew it was going to happen. So I warned my wife that today my thing will come. So in case it comes, forgive me before we go there. She said, don't go and start your thing. I said, well, it's not my fault if they bring it out. It's because somebody is going to ask me where I come from. So we sat at the table, then just like a prophecy. We're talking and the man said, where do you come from? And I said, oh, Atlanta. He said, no, originally from Atlanta. And I said, why are you asking? He said, well, your accent. And my wife knew it was coming. She was stamping on my feet because it was. So normally I don't like to raise my voice, but I wanted to create a little scene. So I said, I don't have an accent. I said, oh God. I said, I don't have an accent. Then the guy said, oh, sorry. I said, yeah, you were asking me about, I don't have an accent. If you come to where I come from, you have the accent. Oh, you didn't get it. Now your people are too dull. you have the accent. It's like maybe you go to Nigeria, where people worship, they call it church. You go to Kenya, they say church. You go to Ghana, it's church. So whichever one, you should be confident in yourself. No, be so. So Alexander the Great, I understand he was about 33 years before he died, and one time he was crying because there were no more worlds to conquer. Now, Alexander was marching his army across Asia Minor. He was conquering one nation after the other. One nation, his army was powerful. They conquered every opposition. And every time they were going to another place, he would send an advance team to go and scout the place, see how the terrain is, see how the people. And they had maps that Greek cartographers had designed for them. They had done their maps, because if you are traveling somewhere having been, you must have maps. And so one time they got to the Himalayas mountains. And right after that, they were going to enter into India. Alexander was in his tent when the advance party came. They were dismayed. They were in consternation. They were discouraged. They were fearful. And he asked them, what is going on? And they said, well, General, we've gotten to this place and we have checked it against the map, and the place doesn't appear on the map that we have. And so we even realized that we have much beyond the map that we have. And listen to what Alexander the Great said. He said, mediocre armies always stay in known areas. Truly great armies march off the map. I've come this afternoon briefly to encourage somebody, admonish somebody, learn to march off your map. March off your map. It's very important. Because we all march in life. We traverse in life based on maps that different map makers have drawn for us. Several cartographers, they have drawn map according to their limitations. And people's maps have restricted us. They have confined us. They have precluded us from going beyond our present limitations into a place where we can, where we will, and where we must. Some of the false map makers have been parents. The young man said that sometimes in a culture where the elderly are always wise. Last Sunday I told my church people that I'm yet to meet a parent who will tell their children, when I was in school, all the exams I took, I was last. Every parent was first. Even when they are first from the bottom, they are still first. Anybody know some parents? No, they'll be watching you. Don't raise your hand. Don't spoil it. You might not have your school fees next time. But sometimes our parents, can draw maps for us and tell us that in our family, we don't do this, we don't do that, we don't do this, you can't go here, you can't overgo there. But I'm here to make an announcement that every map that your parents have drawn for you, according to their limitation and their little thinking, after iYES 2022, you are going to walk off the map and go into uncharted territories. Whatever you are, whatever you determine to be, let nobody's map contain you and confine you. The fact that they couldn't save 10 cities doesn't mean that you cannot save 11 cities. Any invisible line of limitation, today, break it, walk off the map, color outside the lines, dare to be different, and become everything that God has ordained for you to be. Hear me, hear me. Some years back, I lived in the United Kingdom. A man left home in the morning as the Minister for Finance. He was the Chancellor of the Exchequer, John Major. He left and he went to work. He kissed his wife, Norma Major, and went to work. And in about 6-7 hours, because of some political horse trading and jostling, they got Margaret Thatcher out, and then John Major became the Prime Minister. The wife hadn't watched the television. She didn't know what was going on. BBC traveled very quickly to the constituency, went to John Major's house and met Mrs. Major and said, "Do you know that you are the wife of the Prime Minister?" She said, "No, I'm the wife of the Finance Minister, the Chancellor of..." They said, "No, your husband has just become the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom." She said, No. I am my husband, John Major." They said, "Okay, you turn on the TV and see." And when she turned on the TV, she realized the husband, who left home a few hours as a finance minister, has become a prime minister. But this is why it gets interesting. Wait, before you cry. This is what the woman said. From her mouth, I heard it. She was like shocked, and she said, "Things like this don't happen to people like us." Maybe there's somebody here, because of your family pedigree, the color of your skin, your gender, your past, people have labeled you that things like this can happen to people like you. I'm here to make an announcement that it is a map that has been drawn for you. Walk off that map, because things like this can happen to people like you. You don't have to come from a royal family or have a huge name to become a president. I can smell and I can sense that from this room there is an army rising. They don't know you. You may not have the best looks. You may not have the best height. Whatever it is, you can walk up the map that parents have put for you and become everything that God has ordained for you. If that is you, say, "I will." Some of you, your map has been drawn by friends. I'm sure that one has been addressed already, but let me tell you something. As you grow in life and you determine to become everybody, understand that not everybody is qualified to sit at the front row seat of your life. All your Facebook friends are not friends. You got to understand. Don't validate yourself by the fact that Mark Zuckerberg has given you 5,000 friends. How many of them came to your birthday? How many of you blessed? Some of you, you are so mentally weak that you want everybody to be your friend. The more friends you have, the more troubles you have. You must have layers in your life and walk through life and understand that it is better to walk alone than to walk in the company of people who... I hope I'm talking to somebody. I hope I'm talking to somebody. You must have some mental toughness. Forgive the crudeness of my terminology. Some sheer bloody-mindedness to understand that you were born alone and you will die alone. And somewhere in between, there may be some people who come into your life. Some will come as a lesson. Some will come as a reason. Whichever it is, give everybody a chance. But know who your friends are. Don't be afraid. A farmer went out somewhere in the Serengeti in East Africa and found a lioness dead. And beside the lioness was a little cub, lion cub, Simba. The mom was dead. I think she has been injured in a fight. So the farmer took this little lion cub and brought it home. The man raised a lot of goats and sheep and things, so he added the little lioness to his head of goats. So the lioness grew up thinking it was a goat. Bear like a goat, jumped about like a goat, played like a goat, felt it was a goat because it was in a goat environment. Listen very carefully. Your environment will change you before you change your environment. That is why you've got to be very careful. You the coat of arms, Ghana, it says freedom and justice. You have the freedom to choose your associations. It's very important. If somebody's not going up with you, why stay down with them? So this little lion thought it was a goat. And one day they were eating grass and grazing, and they hear a roar. And they looked up and they see this lion coming, and all of them ran, including the little lion. It also ran and asked his fellow goats that, what is that we saw? They told her, this is the king of the jungle. He's wild, he's powerful, he can tear everything apart. Everybody's afraid of its roar. And by the way, you can never be like it. So lion thought, okay, I can never be like it. So this lion started growing, and he grew a mane, became powerful. But on his mind, he thought that he was nothing but a goat. That is why it's important the company that you keep, because people will form your thinking. One day, I don't even know whether to call it goat lion or lion goat. lion goat is better. Goat lion, lion goat. Which one is better? Let's see. How many of you like goat lion? How many of you like lion goat? Okay, lion goat. The thing is called lion goat. Since we have lion king, so this is lion goat. It went to drink in a brook, in a little water that was quite, placid. And the moment it saw its image in the water, it jumped back. Like, whoa. That's the thing that wants to eat me that I saw the other day and ran away. Why is he looking at me? Then he went again and looked at it. He did that, the thing. Then he realized that is me. So he looked at his brother goats, the goatees and the goatess. When they are female they are goatess. When they are male, they are goatees. When they are cousins, goatras. But look at it, they said, it looks like I'm different from these ones. So one day, they were eating grass again. Then they heard a roar and saw this mighty lion coming, looked at itself and said, I look at this one, I don't look like these goats again. And the goats were saying, come on, let's run, let's escape. But the other big lion was saying, come with me. You don't belong among goats. You belong among the king of the jungle. And the last time was the last time that this goat accompanied the goat head. He joined forces with his brother, the other lion, and became everything. Sometimes in this life, the only price you need to pay in order to discover your greatness is to forsake some goats in your life and join the company of people whose minds are stamped with greatness, who are determined that I can, I must, and I will. This is a hot potato, but I will touch it. And somebody keep me alive for security reasons. Sometimes maps in Ghana have been drawn by pastors and churches. I need to be quiet. I wrote in my notes, we'll keep quiet. Because sometimes we have allowed religion to put us in a pigeonhole where we can't even become everything that God has ordained for us to be. Hear me, I am not against the church. I've spent about 40-something of years of my life serving the church. I love the church. I've given myself to the church. I'll still give myself until my last breath. I will serve the church in the whole world. But I am here to say, ladies and gentlemen, that sometimes the church has not helped us. They have drawn maps of and have told us we can't do there, we can't go here, we can't dress like this, we can't put on makeup, we can't extend our eyelashes. In the name of everything that is holy, walk off the religious map and become everything that God has ordained for you. Pastor Brian, I realized some years back that even for me being a church person was limiting me. Because anytime I'm introduced as Reverend whatever, the walls come up. Because one time, somebody had come to repair something in my home. And in our conversation, he found out I was from Ghana. So we started, he was a Caribbean. And so we started having a conversation. And he said, I've been in Ghana before. I love Ghana. I've learned some few words in Ghana. And you know when you travel to foreign lands and they want to teach you, they tell you the very bad words. So I said, what did you learn? Oh my God. The things that were coming out of the man's mouth. I had to go and take a shower. Like, whoa! They say, what does that mean? Then I'll give him a different translation. He will say it in King James. I'll say it in New International Version. I can't say some of them here. I mean, it's crazy. So we were having fun. We were sharing ideas. I was learning so much from him, apart from all the things he was painting my house blue, you know. And then my phone went off, and I picked up, and somebody said, I think the person said, may I speak to Pastor Frank? I said, oh, this is Pastor Frank. How may I help you? So I think something checked. Then after I finished and I hung up, the man didn't talk to me again. He went quiet. And I said, buddy, what's up? He said, you are a pastor. And you didn't tell me, and I'm saying all these buzzwords. And that was the end of the conversation. So I made up my mind. I'm going to walk off some maps. And the first thing was to drop the reverend, because even the REV, I don't know whether it's reverse gear or anything. So I drop it. So I introduced myself. My name is Franco Foswapia. I'm Frankie Baby. I'm a cool dude in a loose mood, Holy Ghost filled, born again to the bone. But at the end of the day, I want to connect with people, speak their language. So I began to stop speaking King James and walk off the map. So for all of you whose ringtone is always, I declare in the name of the Lord. For everybody, your messages, please, I'm sorry I can't take your message right now. But since Jesus died on the cross, if you will leave a message, can you resign from the foolishness and just be, tell somebody be yourself and walk off the map. Thank you very much. We want to shift some minds today. Am I talking to somebody? For some, your map is your past experiences. Listen, stop worshiping at the altar of your past experiences. The past is a cancel check. The future is a promissory note. Today is the real cash in your hand. Spend it. Let your experiences become a manuscript that other people will read. Don't let it become a mausoleum where you bury your dreams. Don't let it become a museum where people come and lament for you. Let it be a manuscript and let them know that I may carry scars. Scars are the marks of a champion. If I have a scar, it means that what came to kill me haven't killed me again. If I have a scar, then it means that I survived something and I am still here. Stop putting makeup over your scars. Let people know that I fell, but I am here again. I missed it, but I'm here again. I made a mistake, and so what? Because failure is often incubated in the womb. I beg your pardon. Success is often incubated in the womb of failure. Falling down doesn't make you a failure. It is staying there that makes you a failure. So in the name of everything that is holy, get up one more time and let people know that I carry scars, but they are scars of a champion. Walk up the map of your past experiences. Sometimes it's the map of your schools. How I wish. I think I don't know too much about all that, but I think this nation has a new education minister from America or something. I think people must be bold. Maybe some politician must. People must be bold to tackle things that are obsolete. Things that are obsolete. We should be bold to face these things. Straight off. Because we have been colonized for too long. And there are some things that don't just work for Africa. We are not an extension of somebody's culture. Every culture has their merits and their demerits. We must learn to celebrate the merits of our African culture, our Africanness. God didn't make a mistake by making you an African. Listen, if I died 100 times and I came back 101 times, 102 times, I want to come as a Ghanaian. I am proudly Ghanaian. I walk with my Ghana passport. I feel proud. I don't know about those who want to denigrate Ghana and think that Ghana is going to hell in a handbasket, but I believe that there is nothing wrong with Ghana that cannot be fixed with what is right with the youth of Ghana. You can make a difference. You can write our name. Oh boy, oh boy. Pastor Brian, thank you for putting this in here. Because I see some fires in some people's belly that we will change Ghana. Listen, forget about the people that have let you down. Forget about those people who only came to fill their bellies, and roll up your sleeves and say, a new Ghana is rising from iYES 2022. We may not have all the money, we may not have all the clout, but we have something. We have passion, we have fire, we have determination. We are walking up the map, and we are going to plant a new Ghana that will rise as a star in Africa one more time. For some, the maps, they've been drawn by your mindset. Limited mindsets have created mental. Listen, for many of you, what is holding you back are not metal chains, they are mental chains. You have drawn bone to loose on your mind before it's manifesting on your hand. Today and in these 3 days, all the speakers, the presenters, they are going to remove the chains layer after layer, one after the other, for you to become everything. Listen, if you're going to stand out, if you're going to make waves, if you're going to affect your generation, if you're going to become everything that you were born into this world to be, then you've got to march off the map. Leave the crowded area of little thinking. I don't know who. I think it was CEO who said it. Listen, the group that you play in, those 5 people around, is very important. Listen, if you are the smartest person amongst your friends, you don't belong there. If you are the smartest person in your group, you don't belong there. Who is going to challenge you? Who is going to pull anything out of you? When you have become a village champion. Every village has their champion until they come to the city and they see the lights. Say, hey. Then they join the Ministry of Admiration. Listen. Oh, I didn't ask you to clap, so if you are clapping, clap for Pastor Brian. Listen, Pastor Brian, I read the other day that mental disease is very important. I don't know if you present some of them because people are going through a whole lot of things. And I read the other day in America that 1 out of every 4 people have a form of mental illness. 1. So I told my church that if you're in a group of 4 and 3 of them look normal, no, I won't continue. Let me just do my thing. There's no church. There's no church. But how many of you are getting blessed? In the next 10 minutes, I'll step out of your way. But listen, I want to enlist you. I want you to be enrolled in an elite army who are not common. People who cannot be easily explained. Because hear me, iYES, if your enemies and your detractors can explain you easily without lying, you are too common. You must be able to defy the ability of people to explain you away. And that is why you must walk off the map. And I think for a few of the years that I've had the opportunity to share with you, I've often used a man, one of my great heroes in history, in the Bible, who marched off a map and became a world movement. He is often my blueprint. He is from an obscure, unsung, limited background. But he marched off a lot of maps to become one of the most revered figures in the world. He represents greatness. He represents resilience. He represents faith. He represents a whole lot of things in the 3 major religions. For Christians, for Jews, for Muslims. Abraham is the father. And I'm not going to read the Bible as iYES. So tonight, Prophet Kofi Odro will come. And whether you want to listen or not, you will listen. You will tear. Tonight you will tear. Oh, you will tear. You will tear. When Pastor Brian told me that I will speak in the evening, he said, 2 speakers. I said, who is that? He said, Kofi. I said, then let me speak first. Let me speak for just 15 minutes and just tear, because after him, what can I say again? So get ready. Listen, you will come and tear. So if Prophet Odro is listening, I'll be coming to tear him. But Abraham, when you read the story, the Bible says that God said to him, he was an idol worshiper. He was a business person, according to historians. And the Lord said to him, get out of your comfort zone, get out of your family, get out of your culture, walk away from the map and become everything that I want you to be. Abraham was a no-hoper, but God appeared to him and brought something unstoppable that would touch the whole world. I dare say this to somebody, that this week, these 3 days, today, tomorrow, Friday, at your night, somebody is going to have an encounter with God. God will appear to you, but not in ways that religion has taught you. Because we read about Moses having a burning bush experience, and somehow we think that God must always speak to us out of a burning bush, and mostly in a baritone voice. What is it about us that God must always speak like a man? My son. My son. So there's no female part of God. You see how our little-mindedness is killing us? And so God can talk to us. Listen, the burning bush that Moses saw was not a miracle. It wasn't a miracle. It was a common phenomenon in that area where the place was tinder dry. So bushes caught fire. The miracle was that it was burning and yet was not consumed. So it had to take somebody out of the ordinary to have an inquisitive mind to notice that this thing has been burning, but for all the days that have been going around, all the other bushes have been consumed, but this one has not been consumed. And so the book says that when God saw that, he had turned aside holy curiosity. You must stop looking at things on the ordinary side and have some holy curiosity. Check it out. When God saw that, then God engaged him. These 3 days, have some holy curiosity and let God use some of the presenters. They may not have reverend, right reverend, left reverend, prophet, evangelists, whatever. They may be presenters, they may be goober people, they may be artists, they may be actors, but God will speak to them and through them and give you an encounter that will unlock something out of you and give you feet, ladies and gentlemen, that will walk off every limiting map. I hope I'm making sense. Hear me. Somebody's testimony will be your experience tonight. An actor's story. And that told you how it started. She sold her car. Listen, life is trade-off. Sometimes you have to give up to go up. Let me just say this, then I'm done. Let me Abraham was changed by mind shift, but I know our time is fast spent. So this building was designed by architects, built by engineers, building engineers. Engineers, they build bridges, buildings, machines, and everything. But today I want to introduce you to another faculty with this mind shift. It's not engineering, but out of your mind is Imagineering. Department of Imagineering. Enrollment is free. I mean, it is the art, it's the faculty, it's the department of seeing and building something on your inside before it becomes a physical manifestation. Pastor Brian saw iYES many years before this huge crowd in the UPS campus. That is why nobody can shut this thing down, because long before something becomes a physical manifestation, it must first live on your inside. You've got to understand that. So your success in life, your success in career, your success in business, politics, whatever, must begin with a mind shift. It is not too late, because the bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you refuse to turn. The bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you refuse to turn. Take these 4 things and I'm done. Every one of them, 60 seconds. My time starts now. You must have a mind shift from indiscipline to personal discipline. Indiscipline to personal discipline. You must have a mindset of personal discipline. Unless you are living under a rock, iYES, Ghana, you have to admit that indiscipline is a national issue. I dare say, with the many places that my feet have walked in on the continent of Africa, indiscipline is celebrated in Africa. Hear me. A nation will not have order for progress without having ordered citizens. Citizens who are disciplined on the inside. You must determine that if there's everything wrong with Ghana, I would discipline myself for me to be right with Ghana. Shift your mind from the maps of national indiscipline. That is how a nation is fixed, one person at a time. Which means when you have to go somewhere, be there on time. Show up on time. What is this thing about our culture that the more important you are, the more you have to be late? Some of you are late everywhere. And I suspect that you can even be late to your own funeral. Is it not the reason why we see all these posters, they're late so and so? They were late. We are late everywhere. Pastor Brian had to keep telling me, wait. Sit down. Because when he tell me show up, I show up. It's personal discipline. I've been flying for about 14 hours to get here. I've had barely 2 hours of sleep. And you're not looking at a small boy. I'm not a teenager. I've been around for a while. Maybe a little older than some of you. But I've slept 2 hours. And I'm going to sit up and then come back tonight. There are some of you, listen, laziness is when you rest before you are tired. You didn't hear me. Some of you sleep too much. Even right now, it is in such a great atmosphere, you are sleeping. You are very wonderful. Your blessing is big. Discipline yourself. Pastor Brian, when I came out of Bible school, those days, there were no offices, no social media, that kind of thing. Your office is in your pocket, you have your Bible. And my wife used to work in the bank. She was gone 8 hours. And I told myself, if she's gone 8 hours, then I must also use my time profitably. That's when I got all the scriptures on the inside of me. Sometimes I quote whole chapters, whole books, and people say, how did you do that? I don't have a tape recorder in my head. It's just pure discipline. One time I had to tell myself, I had to put my feet in ice and tell my feet, I will keep you cold so that my eyes will be awake. Because when I read in Proverbs chapter 6 that don't give sleep to your eyes, I have to look at my eyes and say, you won't sleep, because there's some scriptures I have to understand. There's something I've got to do. You've got to do. You sleep too much. Why is there more sleep after death? This whose thing is this? Paulo, come and take your. Okay, Apostle, this thing is just disturbing. Give it to Paulo. He has a beard now. I think let me run and go. Number 2, you have to have a mind shift from entitlement mentality. Oh, I wish I had 10 hours. See, you agree with me that this is killing Ghana? Entitlement mentality. Oh my God. You may not like this, because it goes against the grain of your own thinking. Today, I've never seen a generation so angry, so easily offended, so light-skinned, and all because entitlement. And sometimes it goes like this. I can't believe they are doing this to me. Listen, you better believe it, because they are doing it. Somebody asked me one day, where is God? When I'm going through all this, where is God? And I just stood watching the person. And when they were tired, they said, Papa, you say anything. I said, you are talking, so when you finish, say, where is God? And I said, do you know where God is? He's still at the same place he was when you were killing his son on the cross. He didn't say anything. Listen, if you walk through life with your hands always like this, looking for what somebody else will give to you, you are going to live 365 days or 366 if it's a leap year with disappointment in your heart. But if you wake up every morning with your hands like this, looking for who you can bless, I can tell you, based on the authority of where I'm coming from, that you will know joy in your life. Listen, every every morning when I wake up, I have a meeting with myself. I tell Franco Foswapia, sit down and let's talk before we go to the world. And sometimes when I'm looking at Franco Foswapia, he doesn't want to make eye contact. I say, Frankie baby, look at me. I want to talk to you. And after we have our meeting, the last thing I say to Frankie baby is, listen, nobody owes you anything. So whether you applaud me or you don't applaud me, nobody owes me anything. I don't wake up saying I am angry because this one didn't help me, this one didn't give me money, this one didn't open doors for me, this one didn't. Listen, many times in life, it is not because of people's help, but in spite of people's help that you see the power of God. One day, you are going to thank somebody that they didn't help you, because if they had helped you, you wouldn't have flown. Anytime you see a cocoon trying to become a butterfly and is struggling to get out, don't try to set it free by thinking you are doing it good. No, it is in the struggle to get out that the wings are strengthened to fly. When people drop you, get up and walk. When people refuse to help you, don't be angry, because if God doesn't speak to people's hearts, they may not help you. Young lady, hear me. It is not every help that is help, because there are some help that after you have helped, it's going to follow you for the rest of your life. Learn to say no. Learn to say no. Learn to say no, because no is a complete sentence. And when they don't understand, ask them, which part of no don't you understand? You must have some mental toughness and walk off the map of entitlement, because listen to me, Ghana, nobody owes us anything. You are looking at a person. Pastor Brian has been in our church many times, Pastor Gideon. I have never had anything easy, even though I try to make things look easy. When I was growing up, Pastor Brian, you know, of the many things that I thought I could do, I wanted to be a magician. You know, children, because the thing fascinated me. How they can take one CD, do like this, then straight. I think I ought to. I remember telling my dad I was going to one day, because I spent my life in libraries reading. And I hope you read, because the one who would not read is worse than the person who cannot read. And as I was on my way to the library, I saw a magician. Then I have to stand and watch the guy. And I remember what the magician said. He said it's called what? Kofi Latte. Can I say it like he said it? Pastor Brown come and interpret it, this interpretation of tongues. Say, me Kofi Latte mijina he. Me pe tunu. Me pe kankama. Me ba baby blade. Na se uni me wi akofi na kore. So those who are laughing understand. Why is everybody not laughing? You know, I used to be an interpreter in our church here in Ghana many years ago, before the white man came. And one time this white man came from America. He was preaching and I was interpreting. Then he said something that I couldn't really interpret into the tree. So with my tree, I told them, you have to be creative, walk off the map. So they all started laughing. Then Brody was happy. He said, yeah, So I'm not saying you shouldn't look for help. I'm not saying you should reject help. But many times, understand that your help is when people don't help you. Your help is one something. Number 3, a mind shift from mediocrity to excellence. We see a lot of excellence around here. Hear me. Pastor Brian comes to our church in Atlanta and he comes to bully me all the time because he knows me too much, and sometimes I feel very uncomfortable. Pastor Brian will preach and look at me and say, Daddy, can I continue? And I say, oh yeah, continue. They will tell my people, oh boy, because he knows me. Listen, we have built something called excellence because I realized, number 1, I'm an African. I live in America. Number 2, I have a funny name called Ofoswapia. I'm not called Clinton or Trump. Number 3, a whole lot of things are against me. Because in the mind of a lot of people, Africans, we lack intelligence, we lack excellence. So I determined that if I'm going to do something here, then at least I mustn't confirm the worst fears of other people about So he knows it. Excellence is regimented. When you are asked to come and sing, like Nana Joy, I saw Nana Joy when she came up. Nana Joy is our daughter from Atlanta, our church. You saw when Pastor Brian said, come and sing, she sang and she sat down. It's excellence of honor carries house. Because when they ask you to sing, don't preach. Because if you preach, thus says the Lord, thou shalt not sing again. That is prophetic. Because I can't stand people who come and sing. Then you're holding a huge King James Bible. They come and put it on the platform. A message you were wanting to preach in 1942 that you haven't been able to. He said, hey, please, before I speak, there's a word that God gave to me in my daily devotions in 1947. Hey, where do you come from? They shut up. And even the one that kills me, woman, is the people that say, listen, don't worry about my voice. Just listen to the words in the song. Did I tell you can't I just listen to words? Where do you come from? If you can't sing, shut up. Me, I know I can sing Nananajo, but it's only in my head. So I do it in my shower, quietly. Have you heard me sing before? I don't want trouble. Hear me. Excellence is not an event, it's a lifestyle. What is it about our nation that you only paint houses when somebody has died? It's mediocrity. It's mediocrity. It must be a lifestyle. I tell people, listen, paint when it's not dirty. Show up when nobody is. They don't say, you're late. You are late. And by the way, habitual lateness is a manifestation of internal defeat. Okay, let me go ahead. Finally, Pastor Brown, finally. From a mindset of being consumers to become producers. I wish I had all the time for this one. Because one of the worst mindsets given to Africa by colonizers is this thing of give me something for nothing. I've seen it. I was born in the year that Ghana had independence. We are not calculating. 30 days of September, April, June, and November, all the rest. Yeah, I was born. So I saw a little bit of the vestiges of colonialism, and it's there. It's ingrained in our culture, our attitude, and everything. So even though we work on wealth, we are not utilizing our wealth. I said this somewhere, please forgive me, I don't say this disrespectfully, but sometimes I wonder why in many places that God put a lot of wealth underground, He put foolish people on top. Pastor Brian, I'm done. Come and continue.
Rise unto your feet. Rise unto your feet. Please, we have to take 2 questions, please. So if you have any question, please come. 2.
If you ask me a hard question, we will not be friends. I don't like hard questions. I want you to ask me a simple question that will make me appear smart.
Please, just raise your hands up. I'll come to where you are. It's the Frankie baby
Only
for
2
me.
questions.
Take
2
a seat.
questions. You can have a seat.
What? Frankie baby.
Okay, thank you, Daddy. I'm Godwin. Daddy, you were saying
You say God win?
Yes.
I like that. So long as no Satan win, fine. Go ahead.
Daddy, you said along the line you needed to drop a title to make room for yourself, to be able to make more exploits. In my case, I would say I have a call of God. And the church I find myself in is placing a demand on me that I should go into the ministry. And I'm seeing myself more bigger than what they are calling me into. What should I do now?
You can do what I did. I didn't tell my whole story about this limiting thing. I realized that God had given me a ministry for leadership in Africa and everything. I'm going to build a leadership university here in Ghana. And so at the age of 50-something, I decided to go back to school. And so I spent about 1.5 years commuting between Atlanta and Brussels, one of their top leadership schools. You know, my classmates in my cohort were EU ambassadors, NATO officials, ambassadors of nations. And I did governance and development policy. And I graduated summa cum laude. Some people also graduate good Lord, but it's fine. But whichever laude is fine. And that gave me social capital with some people. That today I can pick up a phone and call some of the toppest human beings in Europe overseeing this war to end. Because I knew that one day I'll be talking to politicians. I'll be talking to government officials. Now, Pastor Brian knows a couple of young people were brought to my church. I mean, they came to my I think Pastor Brian brought a couple of them. And they were like you in every right. Go to Bible school, do all this. I'm not against Bible schools or that kind of thing. But many years ago, Dr. Kenneth Hagin said that about 80% of what people go to Bible schools to learn don't work. I determined to measure on the 20 that work and leave the 80%. I have more degrees than a thermometer. I have had plenty. Everything. I've worked for everything. Nobody dashed me anything. I did my doctorate in organizational leadership. I've done strategy, leadership, whatever. No. And so the young guys already had ministries, and I told them, before you pastor in our church here, I want you to drop your titles and go back to school. The first day I said that to them, they thought I was the Antichrist. Because I told them that the world is heading towards a trajectory that pastor, reverend, those things won't cut. The greatest group of people who are going to affect the world today may not have religious titles. They are you, marketplace apostles. People that, even in your Bible, people that made the greatest waves were not confined to a church. Joseph, Daniel, all these people, they were marketplace people, and yet God used them. I'm sure if Daniel added Reverend Daniel, he wouldn't have done all the... So, I don't know about your denomination, whether they kill young people or not, and don't tell me who they are. I don't want to. I want to go home quietly and sleep and come back this evening. But you've got to be able to look at people in their eye and tell them that you feel in your heart that this is not the route I want to go. If they love you, they should understand it.
Ask the next question.
Good afternoon, Frankie Baby, as you love to be called. Before I begin my question, I want to commend you for the great work you are doing, and I love your sense of humor anytime you present.
Say that again.
I love your sense of humor anytime you present. I was around last year, and I was extremely blessed by the speakers, and I'm looking forward to this year. So my question is in two folds, and my brother said a bit of it. You made mention that in your house, someone came to do something, and then after receiving a call, you found out you're a pastor. So you need to mellow yourself and speak their language. In a sense whereby you want to also be free with other people and let them get to know what you want to do. Not necessarily like, for example, you're a pastor and then you don't want everybody to know you're a pastor, but you want to feel around with everybody so that you can later on impact life into them. Here lies a case that you are trying to let them know what you want to do. I want to know what you must do so that you don't tend to be confused and follow them and then lose your focus of being a spiritual person. And then my second question too is that you said we should march off from the map. For instance, if I'm taking a trip to Offense Kobin, I would definitely tap on the map to guide me there. What if I'm putting the map away and I don't know the place? Where am I going? So could you give me a distinctive...
The second question, draw your own map.
Come again.
Draw your own map.
But I don't know the place to the location also.
Keep attending iYES.
Okay.
You've heard of the statement, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Yeah. If it's not broken, don't fix it. Me, if it's not broken, I break it. Then I fix it. You got to be radical. You've got to be different. You've got to be an enigma. You've got to dare. I didn't finish. I had a lot of them, but I just want you to go and eat because I could hear stomachs rumbling. My last point was something else, where I was going to give you living examples about how you can thrive in a hostile environment like our nation and that kind of thing and be different. Maybe another time. But you've got to dare to be different. And the other side about, you have to know who you are. Remember a certain carpenter from Galilee. His father named him Jesus, Yeshua. And in talking to his apprentices, to affect all of us, he used two things, elements, salt and light. Salt doesn't shout, but everywhere salt is introduced, it makes itself known. Light doesn't have to have a committee meeting in order to shine, but a little flicker of light will dispel darkness. So it's not that you are going to be in a place where people will influence you wrong, because life is a tension. You are trying to draw people and they are trying to draw you. The one stronger on the inside survives. So you've got to know who you are, how strong you are, draw invisible lines by the things you say and how you connect yourself, and people will know the rules. Thank you. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you so much, Dr. Frank Ofosu-Appiah. Please, let's give it up to him once again. Thank you so much.
We can do better than this.
We can do better, please. I know that our minds have shifted today. We have 2 more days, but then we have this evening that we'll all gather again for another session. It's going to be powerful. A big thank you to all our speakers who attended today's session. To Denta, thank you so much. To Akosia Menu, thank you so much. And a big thank you to our spiritual grandfather, Dr. Frank Ofosu-Appiah.
So there's a quick one that I want to do before we eventually depart and come back later in the evening. There's a book here that is written by Pastor Brian Amoating. It says 20 things to avoid in your 20s. Remember that you are worse than the one who can't read if you're not willing to read. You're forgotten, but it's okay. So the book is just 20 cities. We have some at the back. It's just 20 cities. If you're in your 20s right now, well, I'm not part of, okay. I'm very old. If you're in your 20s right now, you want to read this. If you're more than 20, you want to read this. There are things that you did in your 20s that you've really regretted. You want to learn from some of these things so you become better moving forward. Please make sure you grab yourself one. At the back, it's only 20 Ghana cedis. It's 20 things to avoid in your 20s. And it will do you a lot of good. Are we buying it? Thank you.
Great. And thank you so much for being here today. We'll invite is it Pastor Ike to come take over? Yes, please, Pastor Ike. Please give it up to him, please, as he mounts the stage.
Put our hands together one more time. All right, so we are bringing our first session to a close, and we are meeting again this evening at 5:30 p.m. And I would advise that you will come very early so that you can get a very good spot to sit. Are you here? So can we please be on our feet? And tomorrow, so we are having the morning session again tomorrow morning and on Friday. Then on Friday, we are not having evening session. We're going to have the first ever youth all night. Oh, I thought you were clapping and shouting as well. Okay, so if we use the mobile app to purchase Pastor Brian's book, we are going to have a discount on the book. So we go out there, you can use the Ecobank app to purchase the book. We are going to have a discount. I think you can have a discount about 10 CDs discount. Yeah, 10 CDs discount. The one who shouted, wow, I'll do it 15. Okay, the one who will give the loudest, wow, I can do it. All right, so we want to pray and end this session. And I want to call the head of the youth bank from Ecobank, Pastor William, to come and pray for us. Then we will close for our first session. Put your hands together.
Shall we pray? Eternal Father, we thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for the opportunity to listen to great knowledge. We ask for grace to be able to walk in them and become who you have ordained us to be. We thank you and we bless you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you very much. I will, can, and I must. God bless you. Hoping to see you again this evening and tomorrow morning.
Thank you so much. We'll see you at 5 p.m. this evening. My name is Rosalind Felly, and I've been doing this with...
My name is KMJ. Make sure you interact with someone, have a discussion, talk to somebody, take a contact, make friends. Try as much as possible to leave here, with someone's contact so you can get in touch. Thanks. See you in the evening.